Start rapping and go to Twitch. It's the hustle.
I'm gonna start rapping and go to Twitter, cause I got Twitter fingers
Twitter
in these streets. You know, I'm a motherfucking monster on these beats.
Oh,
boom! Freestyling, bro. Ain't even tried, dog. Ain't even tried.
That we gotta drink first and then freestyle. Like that's the only way we get away with some of the bullshit we'll say. Like, oh, okay, all right, salud.
that's that Spanish in me.
All right, here we
French
go.
in me.
All right then. We're back. We're having a good time, everyone. You can see that. You know you're in a good mood when you come in with a floral ass shirt during the wintertime. And you got my man with a sweater over there. My man with a long sleeve. No, all jokes aside. How's everyone doing?
Are we allowed to show that actually? We had to blur that out because it's PlayStation.
He bought it, so it's okay.
That's
he bought it already.
We're good. We'll find out.
In the near future,
we'll find out.
Far future, we might get demonetized.
We'll find out.
Who knows? But no, we're back. Media Marauders. This is Max, Thomas, and King. Gentlemen, how y'all doing this fine evening?
We good.
I'm good. Doing great.
Bad,
I got my crushed grapes. I'm ready to talk about discussions.
Got your alkaline? Got your alkaline water too?
No.
No, I don't get that. No. But yeah, we're back. Today is actually, I'm kind of excited, as y'all can tell by my energy. Last week, I apologize. My energy was plummeted, but I appreciate Thomas and King for lifting us up and keeping the show going.
We do heavy
as you
lifting.
can see, you said what?
We do heavy lifting.
We do.
You do a lot of heavy lifting. I see y'all shoulders, but as you can see, James couldn't make it again. He ran.
James absent again.
As you can see from the black screen to your whatever bottom right corner for me. He couldn't make it today. He ran into some trouble. James, shout out to you. Hopefully you can make it to the next one. Also, we got just in case I forget, because I tend to be scattered. We're gonna go on a brief hiatus this Christmas break for all the ones that want to be with family and friends, and toast out to the new Christmas year and all that. So we're gonna come back and New Year's. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna schedule ourselves to be coming back the first week of January for the ones that care, for the fans that have been following us and subscribers as well. So with that, we're gonna try to get into it. This one, King, you go ahead and start off. You start off. We start off.
I have no problem with starting off this time with an ending.
But,
so
what?
I'm gonna start off with the ending. That's what I'm gonna do today, guys. So
the best for last.
This comes with heavy spoilers. All right, guys. Maybe not. I'm only doing this. I know Max hates spoilers.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. Maybe I don't know.
Right. So, audience, all 6 of you that follow us religiously, if you watch Supernatural, you'll understand what I'm about to explain to y'all.
Oh God.
So, Supernatural, if anyone's been paying attention to all of the million seasons that's been out since you were like, depending on the age you were, say I'm like in my 30s, so Supernatural's been out since my mid-20s. That's put in perspective. Put in the perspective for this.
Jesus.
They've been up and down a roller coaster of hell, heaven, other dimensions, universes, deaths, resurrections, fallbacks, comebacks. I disappeared, but I really didn't. I'm here, but I'm actually here too.
Yeah.
God's not real, but he actually is. And he writes a book. And he wrote a book, and his name is Chuck. So we're gonna put it in perspective for this, guys. So Supernatural, if anyone's unfamiliar with it, is a show about 2 brothers who battles and kills demons and angels alike. So just want to remember that battles and angels and demons alike, and supernatural things happen on the show. And you have a lot of biblical verses. You have a lot of other religions as well that are in there, but we all know. But maybe I shouldn't go there. We all know the good book is the only real good book, quote unquote, but I don't know that because I'm actually not into all that religious stuff. But anyway, different angels and demons of different cultures live in this series. And it's actually pretty funny. It's really pretty funny.
Different cultured angels?
Well, I'll say different cultures of religious beliefs of who's good, who's bad. Because they had at one point in time they had Loki in there. At one point in time they had what's the other trickster of not the Norse god, but the Norse god. What's the Norse god trickster name? I can't think of, but they had one of Loki and they had another trickster in there, and it got convoluted somehow, some way. But anyway, gods are involved in this too, which is pretty interesting. But
okay, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, you had a question? Go ahead.
So they're definitely going within the spec, like they're going American God route. Like
they've done it. They've done it before, but like I was saying, I finished Supernatural this weekend because it was the last season, which has been a roller coaster for everybody. So I'm not going to ruin it for you because, like I said, like you said, no, you want to watch it. But
I'll plug my ears. I'll plug my ears and I'll put in the time because I've been getting timestamps now. But
I'm not gonna ruin it for nobody. Like I said, I'm not gonna ruin it for nobody. But it's a really good series, and if you watch it from back to end, you really get a good feel of who the brothers are. And a little tidbit for y'all, if you didn't know, Supernatural, the two actors, they've only acted outside of one of them. Who's it, Dean? Dean's only been in 2 other shows outside of the series, which is pretty interesting because you would think they would star in other movies or shows, right? But Dean has done voiceovers for Batman as Red Hood. But that's outside of that. That's the only I can think of that he's done outside of that series. So you just imagine how much money they're making outside of that, just being strictly for that series and no other movie or show. That's gotta be badass, man. To hold that down all that time.
Yeah, Dean was in the movie Valentine Massacre. He was in that one.
That's what I think it was. Yeah, like I said, those 2. I think it was those 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one's Dean?
And Dean is the older brother, the short one.
Dean is the older mean brother.
Season 3. Yeah,
he's gonna be in The Boys.
Yeah, he's gonna be soldier.
Yeah, Soldier Boy.
No,
Soldier
man,
Boy.
that's pretty cool.
And Sam was in the Jason remake. The Jason movie remake.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he was in that, and he was in a couple. I think he was in another TV show during Supernatural as well. But that's research.
That show's been running since 2005.
Yeah, I told you.
I knew it. They've been around for a long time, man.
16. I was 16 when that show came out.
Jesus.
I was 19.
So you had to be in your teens too, King. You had to be, or at least your late teens.
Yeah, I was in my late teens. It was
late or early 20s, like you said. True, you did say 20.
Yeah. I think I was 20. I think I was 20. So that's 15 years ago. That's 15 years ago. Yeah, I was 20, man. Sheesh.
God dang.
Hey, edit that out, Chris. Edit that out, Random. Nah. Just edit that whole age thing out. You know what I'm saying?
You can edit whatever, but it's gonna be he's gonna put like the age, the number of.
I know, right? All in bold. But man, so the show is actually a roller coaster because people love this show, but they hate this show too. And I'm gonna tell you the reason behind this, why they do it, is because in the beginning it was up here, like it was really, really good show. But then they started killing people. And they regurgitated a couple of times of different shows. You know, it's kind of like the Flash. Run, Barry. Next season. Run faster, Barry. Next season. Go faster and faster, Barry.
The speed of light. You ain't know how fast is the speed of light now. Like now it's just getting to unmeasurable shit.
Man, I'm telling you, it's funny. It's funny, man. It's funny. But people bashed it for a while because of the fact that they just kept killing people off and they come back. And then you have God playing God, but he doesn't want to be God. Then he comes back and brings other people back, brings other dimensions. They pretty much expended every imaginable theory / process you could imagine for a movie and show. So what I like about it is the fact that it turns into shit. It is shit, but it's good shit. So
yeah,
it was so good. It was like a garden, whole bunch of nice flowers, whole bunch of nice trees. Who's that? Who is that? We got a resurrection. There we go.
Actually, late. And for the ones that don't know, this is James that just popped in. James, thank you for joining us.
You know, I like to make surprise entrances. You know what I'm saying? I like to make surprise entrances. I get a lot of crap for who knows how many times, but I'm here.
As King is following up, we're talking about the very last season of Supernatural. So King, go ahead and continue because I want to ask a question about this.
Yes. So, as I was saying, the show gets beat up a lot because of the fact it was so good at the beginning for so many seasons, and then it got bad, then it got good, then it got worse, Then it got so worse, it was really good. You're like, they can't top the shit off they did last season. Then they're like, I topped that bad shit. And they were like, Jesus Christ, Jesus, it was so bad. Yeah, like, haha, motherfuckers. So it was so bad. I just like, and I'm telling you, it got so bad at one point in time. I literally looked at my TV and I was like, I'm really watching this over again. But I can't turn it now because I'm really too involved in it now. So I don't want to miss anything. Then I was at one point in time, I was like, killed his ass again, huh? He'll be back.
Yeah. I swear they died like 10 times, man.
Dog, they've killed him a whole bunch of times, man. But
it does a lot of comic books like stereotypes, like where they'll kill your character off and they'll find some kind of way, some kind of medium, any way they could bring it. Because people love that character. So it's blatant shock value just for the shock value to have the fans on the edge of their seat. I'm like, oh, is he really going
to come back this time?
Pretty much, man. That's pretty much that's pretty much what it was, man. It was just a roller coaster. But it like I said, it was just it's good, bad, worse, so good, so bad. I want to watch it, keep watching it. But this last season, though, I think they really did a great job of connecting the dots and putting everything together. The last minute introduction of Jack, who's I think they call it a Nephilim, someone who's born of
half angel, half demon, or half angel?
It's half angel, half demon.
Yeah. So in this case, Jack is the son of the devil, or Satan, should I say? And he's supposed to kill God or could kill God. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the last season, but the introduction of the new main character Jack was pretty good for the addition of it for the last. I think it was. Don't quote me, but either last 3 seasons or last 2 seasons. But he was a key player in the series this last season, and everything. And they made it really touching to make their departure from the show and to end the season and series. So I thought it was pretty touchworthy of that. I shed a thug tear. And this shows their relationship with brother and them being brothers and being through everything. And they had to do a rendition of the timeline of everything that happened and everything like that.
Yeah, a little monologue moment or
Yeah, they gave a pretty good touching one. And like I said, it was pretty good. So I recommend it if whoever's still watching Supernatural, I recommend to finish the series on Netflix, or if you got the WC network channel, to do it that way too. So, but either way, I recommend it. It's pretty good. And I have to give it a overall, I'll give it a B, because like I said, it has ups and downs and middles, and holy shit, they did that. Then holy shit, they did that. And then again, they did that. So it delivered everything, man.
At all. Chris is like, yeah, nope.
Chris don't watch it. Well, Chris don't watch it anyway, so.
No, something just hit me though. I was trying to think, like, did this show start at the same time One Piece did?
It did?
That's what I was thinking. Didn't. I was like,
no, One Piece, the animation started back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Come on, fact checker.
It started 6 years before Supernatural.
And it's not done yet.
Wow.
That's actually a pretty interesting comparison because they're both very long
series. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many seasons of Supernatural again?
20. Let me look at this.
I was watching it that long. I stopped watching it after a while, man. Like,
I was just saying you probably did it because you're at that point where it was so bad, it was really bad, and you didn't watch it again. But then it was so bad, it got better. So you couldn't go nowhere but up. Well, that's actually where it was right there, man. But I stuck through it. I stuck through it all, man. And it worked out for me.
15 seasons.
15 seasons, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
15 seasons.
15 seasons, actually.
That sounds right.
I thought it was in the 20s. I thought it was in the 20s, but then I put in consideration too that they do the whole split thing. So they'll do a whole bunch of shows and then take a long extended break, then come back.
Okay.
The only live action show I can think that's run anything close to that is like Law and Order, and they don't really have the same people. God.
Yeah, because Law and Order started 98, 99? Or early 2000?
The first Law and Order had 20-year or 20-season run, and that was like a lot of different people.
Law and Order apparently was 1990.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. If you watch it old enough.
Wait a minute. I guess they're talking about the SV unit.
SVU has another
1999. But
then they have because theirs is still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have branches off from within the Law and Order series. Law and Order, then Law and Order Criminal Intent, then Law and Order SVU. I think Criminal Intent came after SVU.
And then they had Los Angeles.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
SVU's top one.
I don't know. The thing is, real quick, and then we could kind of jump off. Supernatural, to me, the reason why I was so invested in it is because they dealt a lot with the folklore, like not the folklore, but the sort of like the folklore and the mythical creatures like werewolves, vampire. I think they did a vampire one.
Yeah, there are plenty of vampires.
Everything. They did everything, man.
Yeah, like that's what really made me invested in. But then when they got to the demons and angels, like I wasn't. It was still a TV show that I could turn my brain off, and that's fine, sure. But it kind of just dealt like, okay, you know what? We kind of ran out of all these mythical creatures. Guess we should go to God and Lucifer. Let's see what we can do with them. And it kind of comes off as like lazy writing a bit, because the creator Eric Krip, he's done a lot of movies. He's written for a lot of movies.
Does The Boys?
Directed. Yeah, he helped develop The Boys.
I didn't know that.
Timeless, Revolution, Tarzan.
So it makes sense. So it makes sense why it makes sense why Dean would be coming to The Boys.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Apparently so for season 3. Apparently.
Yeah.
He's directed. He's written and produced and directed 2 other movies. Like this guy's up there. I think he did stuff with comic books too. I could have sworn somebody. There's a writer that they had.
It's like, would it be lazy writing? It's like you have a show that's ran for 15 seasons and held a fan base for 15 seasons. That can't be lazy.
So is it really lazy writing? Really?
Or you just run out of source material and you just got to come up with something new to reinvent yourself.
I hate coming off like I'm the most negative person in this world. I think, even though I'm the most optimistic, I'm so optimistic out of everyone here. But I have like my critical eye with things. I know it's gonna probably rub people wrong, and it's gonna make y'all look at me like I'm fucking crazy. But it's lazy writing to me when you're constantly killing people and then bringing them right back for shock value. I just don't. I get it. Like if you really want some shock value, I mean, and that's true. But comic books to me is a different kind of avenue. I feel like we should be able to move from those type of like comic books is solidified. And that's never. I don't think that's ever going to change. Wolverine died for like 5 years, and they brought him back. So
this is about to spiral a little bit. We haven't had new storytelling since the Greeks.
Come on, you can't do that.
I study storytelling.
He's like, come on, you can't do that.
I study storytelling. We have not had new storytelling for a good. Most of the same story repackaged.
You told me from a civilization that does not exist within the past almost 500 years, there hasn't been no new storytelling. So you can't. All right, we're not going to turn.
Most of the main good storytelling, what's considered good storytelling, or the storytelling that people digest, is the hero's journey. Hero must go up. Hero must go down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about within the structure of storytelling. It's not about
hasn't really changed. And
I can agree. I can agree with that. The structure. The structure. I mean, the guy that made Ron Harmon, the creator of Rick and Morty, he follows that exact like path of the hero's journey. Like with all his stories, where you learn a certain lesson, you have a problem. Like he does it for every episode of Rick and Morty. He did it the same for the community. So he follows. It's like a mantra of his. Like it's a procedure that he works with all his storyboarding.
It's one of those things they teach you in storytelling. It's just what they teach you, because it's like when you deviate from the tried and true, that's when you get those movies that bomb really terribly.
Are you talking about Black Dynamite? No, you're not. Dynamite. You better not be.
Black Dynamite hit it perfectly.
That's a horrible film, but it's so funny.
But you know what? If you watch Black Dynamite, you see the hero's journey perfectly executed.
Yeah, true. They still follow that path. I see what you're saying. All right, I misunderstood. I thought you said just storytelling in general. You're talking about
that's what I'm saying. Like, procedure of storytelling. Tells so many stories and stories so many ways. And if you're going 50, like Law and Order, Law and Order, people love some Law and Order. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure I saw some of the murder cases happen before, so.
Or something similar. They start off looking for the bad guy because something crazy happens in the beginning. They start off looking for the bad guy. They find the victim or whoever. Then they do some research, and then they prosecute him or do whatever to catch him, right?
Hold up. You missed a step. Ice-T has to say something really interesting, like, so you're telling me that there's a...
It's the formula.
Ice-T gives the funniest shit, dog. John Mulaney made a funny ass joke about Ice-T having the best monologue moments in there. So you telling me that he liked children? Are you telling me that he raped children?
You talking about Christopher Maloney? John
Mulaney.
Oh, John Mulaney.
He one of his stand-ups, he did that shit. I was crying, dog, because it was so truthful. He was like, one of the shit that's made the world, and then Ice-T just comes up and he's like, so you telling me he touches children?
Yo, we gotta give Bell to Ice-T because he's been the only consistent black individual in that show for years. So I'm gonna give him, and he had a pretty decent rap career. So
no, I mean, of course, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's just, I get it. He's a staple there now because of his one-liners when it comes to being killed.
I was gonna say that going back to Supernatural though. Even though I haven't watched the show, I'm pretty sure the people that they brought back from the dead on the show are fan favorites. Am I?
Yes.
I mean, they're the main characters too. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
so you pretty much have to. The keep them characters dead would probably would have made that show ended earlier.
I'm gonna put it this way. You're not wrong, but you're not right neither, because the writer of Supernatural is actually Jesus, and Jesus is named Chuck. And he's in that world, and he's actually a writer. Not a good one either.
I remember.
He's a writer nonetheless.
Because he has a book and everything. I remember this. Like it's like when I started falling off the show. Yeah, I remember this.
All right, we're not gonna get too deep.
But as I said, they had creative ways of bringing characters back instead of time loop. They could have each said we could do time loops all the time, bring characters back.
Bro, I'm sorry, but that's lazy. That could be considered lazy writing to some people.
There you go. It could be considered. It's not.
I can debate it, but
I get it. It is debatable. It is debatable.
I'll say the latest thing you can do to bring someone back is wish them back.
Well, first of all, there are no Dragon Balls in this show.
I know.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
You said Jesus is writing shit, so he can just bring people back to life anyway, right?
Okay. How many shows have you seen Jesus write people back to life?
1, 2, 3. No, I'm kidding.
Everybody
was like, 1, 2. What show? What show are you talking about? 1, 2, 3.
I've never seen a show when they had Jesus writing people back to life. That was out of the box thinking.
It was out the box thinking. Because you got G. Well, if you ask certain people, they'll tell you that their steps are written, and you can't do anything about that.
Bro, that just comes off like some meta bullshit to me. Like, oh, we're deep. Jesus is the one that's writing this book the whole entire time.
Are you talking about Christians? Are you talking about Christians?
All right, hold up. Nope.
Oh,
not it. Not it.
Not me. We're in the show here.
Hey, Chris. Not it. No,
Let's not getting that edgy today. All right, we're not exports. We don't do that here.
Yo, Fox News tomorrow.
Right.
Move me along.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy. We got 20 more followers right now because of this.
We about to lose 20 more followers. Anyways, thank you, King, for that nice insight on Supernatural. We're gonna go keep on moving along.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
If you're watching Supernatural, don't be scared to utilize your Shazam, because you'll find really good old school music on it.
They do play music, especially when they drive in their old school car, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the all right.
Carry on your wayward son.
You want to get his claim?
I was about to pull up that song for a second.
You want to get his claim? Some people like, was that 5 words?
Yeah,
some money. Like happy birthday. Happy birthday. Don't play with that song.
Oh wow.
Oh, you sing it on YouTube?
You can still do the tone of it though. Like
no, you cannot.
They don't play with it. You can do different words, obviously, but they still have that. You can still convert. You can still kind of move around that.
When this off,
Max still like, you can do that. You just.
All right. Anyways. All right. We'll move along. Thank you, King. Appreciate that little insight on Supernatural. That is still a show that I want to get back into. Who knows how long? I'm currently getting into Breaking Bad, so we won't get too heavy on that.
Definitely continue with Breaking Bad, man. Breaking Bad.
But all right, this next portion right here, we're gonna collaborate. Thomas and I are gonna kind of go through it. for the ones that may not know, or the ones that kind of live under a rock, or don't really pay too much attention to the video game world, we've been talking, or even paying attention to the channel. We've been talking about Cyberpunk 2077 since what, October, September?
Probably started around the time we started.
This game is first, for like just a quick recap. This game is based off a tabletop game from Mark Pondsmith. I think his name Mike Pondsmith, and he created this tabletop game. I'm sorry. He created this tabletop game, and it blew up with CD Projekt Red getting the rights to be able to create the game on an actual video game. And this game has been in production since 2012, and it just released. Yeah, it's been in production. I see you squinting over there, Thomas. It's been in production since 2012.
No, it's not that. It's something else. Don't come on my face.
You straight. But no, So it just released last week. It's about to have its first week release tomorrow for the ones that may not know. Today's Wednesday for us, and it's been kind of a shitstorm. A lot of people have been talking trash about it. The main thing, and I'm not gonna do that. I don't know about you, Thomas, but I'm gonna stay away from the shit talking because it's all over the damn internets and articles. There's been so much hype with this game that there's so much negativity happening now because of this. The game currently is having a lot of issues performance wise. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of
get it up, huh?
The game is. You said what?
They can't get it up, huh? Got it.
Yeah, stupid. There's a lot. The game crashes a lot. My personal experience with the game has already crashed on me twice.
Wow.
And I've noticed a lot of the frame drops. If you don't know what frame drops, I guess it's the type of movement the game goes, and it kind of blurs or slows down. And this game is first person. You deal a lot with with artillery, so guns and all that. So whenever you're shooting, sometimes my gun doesn't even appear. It just shows my hand up. There's no gun in my hand at all. And it's a lot. It's a lot to be upset about, and I can understand that. No, honestly, I can understand that frustration for a game that's been hyped up for so long, the promotions, everything, and I'll let you take it away, Thomas. How do you feel about it?
Well, I think for me, I really walked into this in a different mind state. Because remember, a couple episodes back when I was saying about Watch Dogs, I mentioned the fact that these games that are being cross generations are going to have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And it's exactly how I figured it was going to happen. This was just worse than other ones in that situation. I think when we mentioned them delaying it, and they said in the delay their biggest issue was the base console games.
They sure did.
The amount of time they said they were going to give it, most people were like, "That's not going to fix too much in that time period." But
they couldn't delay it anymore because they already delayed it, even though that would have helped them, but then that would have killed the hype at the same time. So you got your pros and your cons with it. And then the PS5 version is not even out yet. So
that was the thing. The PS5 version was always aimed for next year. So with all that was going on with the delays and all that, it was kind of like the writing was on the wall, but a lot of people were still happy about what they were excited for it. And then when the reviews dropped, the reviews were great, but then they only showed the PC ones. CD Projekt Red they are primarily a PC developer company. Like that Witcher 3 was their first game I think that released on PlayStation, because you still can't get the Witcher 1 or 2 on PlayStation. They're only on PC and Xbox, I think.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Witcher 2, I can have it on the 360.
So that's the thing. Those have always been, and I don't think they was working on them by themselves. So they had a history with. There's a lot going on with it, but they had a history with it, with consoles that people, I guess, just figured they were going to iron out.
Yeah,
it was like the game is gorgeously beautiful on PC from what I've seen. I've been playing on the PlayStation 5 with the bugs. I don't have the ray tracing or any of the great visuals, but the game's it's pretty good. The gameplay, going into the gameplay of the game, I was surprised that people thought it was something else.
Explain.
Because, yeah, I think at one point we were like, people were like, I think we were even discussing like y'all were saying FPS. I was like, it's gonna be an RPG. Like it's going to be like Fallout in them. Like there's been many games like this before. It's just in a different setting. I don't think we've ever had this setting per se, because we've had Skyrim, Fallout, and those are the only ones that really come to mind.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is another big one. That's
what about Elden Rings? Is Elden Rings one of those types?
No, Elden Rings is supposed to be like Demon Souls.
Okay.
But so that was
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, that's Skyrim.
Okay, yeah, Skyrim. That's right. You're right.
Yeah, but so with all this going on, people were like, people got way too hyped up, and then CD Projekt Red did some dirty stuff on their end.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Scummy shit. They definitely withheld information. There's, like I said, they have every right. Fans have every right to be upset. There's people that have been asking for refunds. Earlier this week, CD Projekt Red released a statement about possible refunds and how much they're sorry. Please give us a chance. If you're still upset, we understand. We'll work with you getting refunds. And I just kind of skimmed through an article earlier, right before we got on here to do the episode, where there's a good possibility that people that have bought the game digitally will not be able to get those refunds, or it'll be very hard.
Supposed to be clustered about that.
Yeah, it's a shit show right now, man, and it hasn't been a week since the game's release, and so far they've released a big patch, and I've downloaded the patch. It did it automatically, and I've been playing, and of course I see its discrepancies. Of course I get a little frustrated when the game crashes, but there's a solid game here once they get the fixes. And I'm not here to push I'm not here to put the white flag up for CD Projekt Red. I admit they fucked up, but I don't see the need to keep shitting on them, like being upset upset about. Yeah, like this is still a good solid game. It's not even a potential thing. They have it here. They just have to fix some things. That's all. Go ahead.
I think that's the thing though, is like, I think from where you're coming from, you're not really seeing a lot of the, like, and like for me, I don't really care for half of the criticism. Like, bought the game and I bought a physical copy so I could, if I really wanted to return it when trading in, I could. I'm not. But they've had multiple missteps with this game. Like there was a whole issue with transgender people at one point. And
oh yeah, I saw that.
But that was the thing. Like when they got called out about it, they made a statement. And then now that people have actually played the game, they're like, that doesn't really live up to the statement that they made before. But then when people got kind of angry about that, I was like, well, did y'all not remember what they said in The Witcher when people were like, hey, how come there's no black people in this game and made in 2000 whatever time period? They're like, because it's a game that takes place in Polish mythology or something.
Europe. Yeah, Europe. It's like its own kind of Europe. Some place in Europe.
That's the thing. They say it's a fantasy based in, and they're like, that's why we don't have any black people. And people got mad about that. I'm like, y'all don't remember these kind of like that's the thing. Like the fans that are getting very angry. I'm like, they've done this stuff multiple times now. Y'all just keep giving them back, but then you pretend like it never happened before. So,
bro, but that game came out in 2015, so of course people aren't going to do their research. They want this shit now. This is a generational shift in getting what you can now. Don't care about what's being done. I'm upset because this isn't working for me now. I don't care because you fixed it. Right.
You should have dropped it when everything was ready to go.
That's the same. Some people are telling like, yo, like I'm one of those people. I remember playing The Witcher when it first dropped. I remember when I bought my chess pieces. All of them were in the box. But I remember like when you played Witcher when it first dropped, you summoned Roach. Roach could end up on a rooftop. But that's the thing though. They made in Gwent, the card game that they released after they made jokes about the bugs that were in The Witcher. It's like they've never been the like polished. They polished the games after they released. So it was like this was kind of like if they would have released the review copies for the base system, they would have been in a better situation because people would have saw what it looked like. I doubt people would have really canceled their pre-orders over it. But
I mean, there's so much that they could have done. There's so much that they should have had more of a foresight for. I think you know, the conspiracy side of my brain is like, okay, these people are going to take their money. They're gonna buy this game anyways. They're gonna be upset regardless. I think we can still kind of blemish a lot of this and still be all right, still be floating up above water. So let's lie a little bit and still have these fixes as they go, and still, you know, expect the fans to just be okay with it. And then I don't know. I just, like I said, I don't want to give them bail, but I also don't want to just demonize them. Like, yeah, like I get it. There's some mistakes here. They could have done this a lot better. They couldn't. It's like you're just withholding information just for bread. Like, this is a culture for a lot of people. Like, they live off this type of, you know, video gaming, like Twitch YouTubers, all that shit. People live off this stuff, so they expect when you put money in, I should be getting rightfully what I put my money for. So I mean, I see a lot of spectrums between all this, and I play the fence a lot, and I like to just kind of view how everybody's moving. And I think just continuously shitting on this company and this game isn't going to do anything. Like, what's other than, you know, being a troll and making a meme out of it, like just the cultural aspect of it all, just being funny. You know what I mean?
See, that's there's a few things like it was like there's like I've been watching so much on it. Like, for me, a lot of some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with. The criticism for it. We still haven't gotten into our gameplay like that. But I saw like one person, like a YouTuber, criticized how the Hispanic characters talk. He's like, well, you know, that they come off as stereotypical.
Whoa.
And then I was like,
not a YouTuber.
I get it. I got my feelings a little bit, because it's like, actually, we'll go to break. I'll come back and don't have to go.
Yeah. We'll do a quick commercial break, because we don't want to harp too much, but we definitely want to kind of get into the crust of what we have, because there's so much. But we're gonna try to condense it, and all that. But yeah, commercial break. We'll be right back.
Wrong button. I guess that missile sense. Not that missile sense.
We're back from the quick intermission. We wanted to follow up with the last statement that you made, Thomas, about one of the YouTubers that you've been looking into.
Yeah, it's like there's a situation like because some people were talking, they were angry about how like the Spanish were representing, how Japanese were represented, and how, like, you know, like the Haitians and whatnot. And I can't really speak on the Japanese and the Haitians, and I also give CD Projekt Red a little bit of benefit of the doubt, because they're a Polish company, so they probably have no idea how Hispanics talk over in the United States. But there was one thing that caught me was when people were like, well, yeah, you know, I don't like how they're stereotypical Hispanics. That, you know, sometimes they're speaking like there's a character in the game called Jackie Wells, and the way he talks when you're doing dialogues with him, sometimes he slips into Spanish here and there, like a little bit of Spanglish.
Spanglish,
yeah. And then people were like, well, that doesn't seem authentic. I'm like, Maxwell just did this on this episode. Like, people do that. Like I don't know if people realize there are people who actually talk that way. And it's like, we don't need, like, I got a feeling a little bit, because it's like, you know, there's the character Judy. I think she might be Hispanic, but there's different characters, and I'm like, we don't need stuff devoid of certain situations. We don't have to bleach the character just because y'all don't want a certain representation in there. It's kind of
neuter their culture.
Yeah,
just for the appeasement of the player.
It's like, that's things like, so like for me, I'm like, you know, when it came out, I felt the type of way. I was like, you know, like pretty much most of my Hispanic friends, you know, family members, whatnot, who speak Spanish, sometimes will slip into Spanish as they're speaking.
So it is. My mom does that when she speaks with me. So she does English and then goes into French. So I definitely get it.
And so I'm like, so people are like, well, you know, it doesn't seem authentic. I'm like, how would y'all know?
Yeah, right.
Because that comment needs to be from someone that must not been surrounded, doesn't have Hispanic friends or family members or associates.
I feel like at that point is when people are really, I really wish they would take not like it's not bad to keep an eye out for people kind of pandering.
Yeah.
But I'm like, take a moment and really think about it, because I'm like,
Right.
For me, I felt the type of way when I heard it. I was like, well, no, there are people who talk that way, and you're dealing with street characters who are hired guns. Like, you're not dealing with executives at a company. You're dealing with, like, Jackie Wells comes off as a character that's
came from the
streets.
Come from the city.
Yeah, you know, he the gang life, you know, he didn't sound like a tech bro to me. Which if he would have sounded like, and like some of the words were like, he used certain words wrong because, you know, I guess they didn't have a good localization team to figure out like exactly the word usage. They might have, you know, I don't know how it worked, but how they did the writing for it. But whoever wrote some lines messed some Spanish up, like call certain things the wrong thing, which, you know,
like empanadas or tomatoes.
But
my man is quiet. Why are you coming at it?
He's just gonna help him. So
Max, what's so funny about that is Max actually laughed at that. He was just like.
Anyway, please continue talking.
So, but it's like so hard. Like the characters give it life, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be this game that, you know, it's excessively thought provoking, and then it's Cyberpunk, and I understand that a lot of people think like the idea of Cyberpunk's dated, and I'm like, Blade Runner and all that. I'm like, when I remember when I was watching, what was that show that was on Netflix that got canceled recently? Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon got canceled? Oh shit.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Canceled, but like,
I think we talked about this. I think we did.
Yeah.
Like, what I liked about that atmosphere was just how wildly like crazy that atmosphere is. Like, if you give me like a Cyberpunk is not what I play or look for something that type of thought provoking.
Okay, and let's get into that, because like you said, you have the PS5 version. I have the base PS. I'm playing it on my base PS4. You're playing on the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So with your experience gameplay wise, and kind of, you know, not trying to take away from what we are just talking about, but kind of getting into the gameplay of it all, how has the performance and experience been holding up to you?
Well, the gameplay loop makes me want to play it more. Like, I'm loving the gameplay loop. Like, I love figuring out like the characters' backstories, what's going on in the world. I love figuring out the world. Doing the missions. Like, I don't know how many like crimes I've stopped. Like, you know, like it's.
What? You're a crime stopper? No.
Hey, in this world, you get paid in street cred for almost everything, and it's like say if you see a crime happening, the cops are like, yo, we don't have the guns to stop this, but we pay people to be vigilantes. We pay everyone to be Batman in this world. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'll be Batman.
Well, you know me. I wouldn't be Batman.
Well,
you know me.
More like Daredevil or Punisher. They pay me to be Punisher.
Okay.
So, they don't really, like, Batman don't really, you know, Batman leaves people with their heads on. There's a lot of people who don't have heads by the time I'm done. So,
does he? Does he? Does Batman really leave people with their heads on?
I mean, anyway,
armor to leave them in like, you know, wheelchairs, but
yeah. I swear to God, swear to me.
But yeah, so like the gameplay's been pretty good. I mean, like my play style so far has been action sometimes I'm sneaking, sometimes I'm doing a net running. Like I did one mission and I just like what happened? Like I ended up like, you know, I was sneaking around a place. It was like
you're hoeing.
Brothel. So
hoeing, that's what I thought. And you said brothel, you were hoeing. Got it. I was right.
Well, I had to find the information I needed.
He was on the game hoeing. I was at a brothel. Okay.
Even though I curse all the damn time, we got to censor ourselves sometimes with certain words.
But I was sneaking around and, you know, I had to do what I had to do to get the information. And, you know, so when I get in there, I'm like, you know, just kind of like seeing what's going on. And I'm like, I find a door I couldn't get into. So I ended up, you know, finding a guy, moving some stuff, kill him, take his car. But no one ever hears me kill anybody. So I'm like, I kill like maybe 3 people in there, but most of the time I'm just stealthily moving around, stealing stuff while I'm at it. And then I get to, you know, to the guy who has the information. He's like, what are you doing in here? I'm like, oh, I'm here to interrogate you because I need this information, which is how I move. I've seen other people say they couldn't do that. They ended up having to shoot up the whole place. So I was like,
yeah,
y'all ain't good like me. But
man, there's so many avenues to take. Not to cut you off, but they really put their thought into a lot of the like one person isn't available to me anymore because of how I executed a certain mission.
And I just got a mission from that person.
Yeah. So, and you know what I'm talking. We had a discussion off camera.
Well, we'll go because it's the beginning. We'll go into details on that mission.
Yeah.
Don't you ruin it. No, don't you spoil it for me.
If you watch any trailer, you've seen that mission.
No, I didn't spoil it earlier for y'all with what's called. So no, I didn't spoil Supernatural, did I? So don't spoil this for me.
No, we won't stay too much on it because I kind of want to just get into the crust of how the game has been for you on your PS5.
Well, like, I want to get into the crust of not spoiling things. How about that?
We're not.
Well, like with the like for me though, like I'm probably gonna hang it up though for a little while. I'm trying to decide. Like I want to play it right now.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm really tired of the crashing.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the crashing, I would probably be all the way in at this point.
Never that.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before. Like, I've only played the game maybe a handful of times so far because I find different things to do. Even though I really do enjoy this game, but it crashed on me twice. I don't know how many times it's crashed for you. But you've been playing more than I have.
I think it's like on the hour, every hour. It seems like.
Wow.
That's.
Ooh. But the gameplay is that good that somehow I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, you keep coming back.
You play for a little bit longer. You know?
It got to be a good game if you still keep coming back after that many crashes.
And look, and I'll talk about because I have the base. That's where I have the base PS4, the base PS4 and the base Xbox One. If you don't mind, Thomas, I'm gonna get into my portion of it. That's where they have the main issue, these last gen consoles. So yes, the crashes. Yes, I haven't seen the T stands. There's a thing called the T stands. You'll have random NPCs just standing weirdly with it, like their arms up like this.
It's how you skin and how you rig characters.
Yeah, and there's they give you little cheat codes so you can have a better experience where you'll turn off certain settings. I've turned off all my settings for this game to look beautiful and initially what it was supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. So it does look like I'm playing on the PS3. Like to me anyways. Like a PS3 Slim or whatever they did with this PS3. Oh no, that was the PS4 Pro, my bad. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's supposed to for this generation or even for the next generation. And I don't get frustrated with that. The thing that really can bother me though about this game, bro, the driving really annoys the hell out of me. It really, and I've never got into GTA like that other than San Andreas. So y'all could attack me for that in the comments down below. You go ahead and attack Max.
I never played it.
But the driving, like I guess the first car you get. The first car you get in Cyberpunk 2077 is the worst vehicle I've ever driven in a video game. And I'm going to say that right now. I'll stand on that ledge. But when I got a particular motorcycle, it was better. It was a whole lot better, but there were still little issues. I'm like, I know how to drive in real life. I've driven well in video games. Why am I crashing into everything? Like, why is that happening?
Oh, you suck. That's why I haven't had that issue.
Yo, I'm just saying, like, I'm going 50 miles per hour. Why can I not turn appropriately? Like, I feel like I'm doing things right. All right, but that's one thing. I'm not going to stay on it. I'm not going to harp on it. The mission of characters walking through things, of course, like, when you roll up with Jackie, you're doing the corporal lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing street kid lifestyle. And, the way they start is completely different. I know that.
It's just only one mission.
Yeah, there's moments where it's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. There's moments when it's frustrating, but the only thing that really stood out to me, and I hope they fix. And I'm thinking maybe because I drove the motorcycle and it was a little better, and that maybe that car is horrible. I haven't driven any other car, so
I think a lot of people say the motorcycle driving is better than the cars.
Yeah, it's just I really want to keep playing this game, but like you, Thomas, I kind of want to just hold off because, like they say, they're promising more fixes. So
I would say the hard thing, like driving, is probably their weakest part. But then again, like driving is the game that does good driving is Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
And like even Watch Dogs, when I'm playing Watch Dogs, I auto drive everywhere. I hit X and let the computer do the driving for me because it does not do like driving. It's not fun. It's like can't pull it off well.
And overall, man, I think we could keep going honestly because
how's your play style? Are you playing stealthy, guns blazing? How you going?
We spoke a little bit off camera about this too, but I've been really trying to be kind of stern but fair. So like I'm not at all. I kill anytime I can. Not in real life, of course. I love people. So the ones that really know, all right, y'all know me. But no, seriously, this game, with this game, I don't play too aggressive. Like, and when it comes to decision making, because there's a lot of dialogue to determine how you're gonna handle particular situations, and I try to be stern but fair. So let's say if I catch a kid that stole from a store, like some 14-year-old kid stealing from a store, for example,
break his wrist, right?
I might break his finger to make him realize, yo, don't do that shit again. But you're still alive, so go ahead. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's
stuff like that. I feel like in real life should be okay too. But no, seriously, within this game, I'm trying to kill the ones that deserve it, pretty much, or get rid of the ones that deserve it.
Like that warehouse mission, like that's the one mission that we both did. I don't know if you made it to the title screen yet, where it says Cyberpunk.
No, I haven't. No, wait, did I? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I'm 8 hours into the game. I had to.
Have you seen Johnny Silverhand?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all spoiling a lot for me right now. I don't know who these people are. I might play the game.
If you don't know who Johnny Silverhand is, you're not going to play the game.
Man, he's just joking. We're not doing it.
But like like that warehouse, when we're in the warehouse scene, like the way you played it compared to how I went through with it. Like you went in,
guns are blazing.
No, he. What did you do?
No, my bad. Chris went in guns are blazing. He was killing people.
Yeah. Well,
I avoided attacking particular people. I avoided it because I had the funds to take care of it. So
I had the funds too.
Exactly, but you took it to war.
I did not do it on purpose. This is what happened.
Thomas, this is what happened.
All right, this is gonna turn into a whole 2-hour show now. Because let me tell you what happened. First of all,
I was sitting there, and Jackie didn't decide he wanted to sit down. I was like, well, if Jackie's not gonna sit down, I'm not sitting down.
All right.
And, so cool gun.
All right.
And then the whole place got hot, so we had to light the whole place up.
Jesus,
you chill with a dude for 6 months and already you're ready to go to war with anybody?
From in my character's life path, come to find out they go way back. So if my brother go way back, got a problem.
Okay.
I hear you. Have problems.
See, my path, I meet him for the first time, and we've only been cool for 6 months, and now we're solidified as a team.
Oh, see, like in the Corvo path, it's like the first thing I do is get a call from him, and it's like he's like, yo, how you doing? It's like, yo, that's your, like, you can tell that's your boy from.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Yeah. I hear you.
So it was like, and plus, my character, it was Corpo. They are people who kill people for money. So
you fit right in. No, but all right. So all right, we're good. We got what we needed to get out real quick, but let's go to the ones that haven't played the game yet. King and James, how do y'all feel about what's happening with everything that's happening with Cyberpunk 2077? And then we'll try to wrap it up, condense it, make it happen.
You can go ahead, James.
James,
your mic. James, your mic.
I think he might have. No.
Yo, that got me right.
Yo, didn't this happen before?
Yes, it did happen before. It happened during the Lovecraft Country.
The Lovecraft Country. Can you hear us? Go talk. Can you hear us? Nah, bro, we can't hear you.
Dang.
You might have to leave. You might have to leave and come back, bro.
Yeah, you might have to close it out and pop back in.
Try it again.
But until then, King, how you feel about all this news, man? I don't know if your dad invested. All right. It's too funny, man. Come on, man. There you go, James. You good? We're gonna go. We're gonna let. Yeah, go ahead, James. Tell us what you think.
I did pre-order the game. My bad, technical difficulties. I did pre-order the game, and I don't have a PS5. I read everything that was coming up with it, and I knew there was gonna be problems. I've heard there's been games that's had problems before, especially across multiple platforms. We talked about it in a previous episode, like, you know, how hyped the game is and like about them delaying the game because they didn't fix everything. So, you know, I know where you live, Bruno. So that said, you know, I haven't played the game yet, but I'm waiting for them to drop some more patches so I can play and not be as frustrated, because I'm used to playing polished games. Admittedly, like, I understand that they put out this game, they had a whole lot of hype, they've been doing it for so many years, there's so many platforms right at the end of the generation for PS4. Well, actually, like, you know, it's better on PS4 Pro, that's closer to PS5, but at the same time, you started with PS4. I mean, besides PC. So I honestly feel like it should have been better on that platform first.
Question.
That's how I feel overall. Like, I understand that people might. Did I say something wrong, Chris?
Oh no! Like, have you
say something wrong?
You said you expected the game to work. Did you play The Witcher?
I only seen gameplay of The Witcher. I didn't play The Witcher. I was just saying that if they already had that experience previously before, I think you will learn from it and you will proceed forward. But I'm the type of person that knows how to fix and build off of stuff and learn from my past mistakes. But that's not how you're going to proceed about it. That's not how you're going to proceed about it. And that's what Project Red did. So they got the exact same kind of game that came out and people are playing it. That's why people are so frustrated. To me, from my point of view, not playing all their games and thinking about how games I played in the past have dropped that might have had a few bugs, but wasn't anywhere near what Cyberpunk is right now.
You make some good points.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are probably around there. I mean,
people got good reasons to be angry.
I mean, I still want the game. I still got the game. I'm just waiting. You know, I'm like, forget it. I'll just wait.
No, that's a patient move. Yeah, true.
I'm gonna play it over Christmas break. Let's be for real. I'm gonna turn the game on. Like,
this is the best time, kid. This is the best time.
I know the fact everybody was judging James. He was saying, "I got the game," and everyone's like, "Mm-hmm."
No, but he's right. This is the best time. This is when I beat God of War for the first time last year during Christmas shutdown. You know, everybody, you know, holiday.
Anyway.
I'm gonna see if I can start to finish in platinum by the end of Christmas break.
You
said that guy.
Who?
I'm gonna see if I can platinum God of War just to be that guy.
You're such a dick. You're not gonna do it.
PCO, right?
You're gonna put that shit on easy.
That's what I did. That's what I did with Nino Kuni too. I remember when Nigel said he was like, "I'm at the last boss, I can't beat him." I was like, "Let me hurry and beat this game before he finishes."
You put on the easiest difficulty.
I played it on normal just to make sure I could beat it. It's out there.
All right, but now James, you did make some good points about it. There was a lot of time to do these. Like, you had this past mistake before, you could have done better. That is a legitimate discussion.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate concern.
Legitimate.
What about you, King? All right, this motherfucker.
I'm done. I got it's the last one. All right, cool. All right, so this is my personal thing I always do anyway. So when it comes to games and other consoles, just like I'm gonna do with the PS5, I'm not gonna buy it until later on, to be honest with you, because I feel as though when it comes to like new consoles, there's always a second one going to come out with a better version, so that way the fixes are done from the first one. And so I imagine with the time length of me getting the PS5, when the second version comes out, or the less expensive one, whichever one comes first or whatever, they'll have it all fixed out and everything, and it should be fine by then. Now, if they still keep having these bugs as the newer console comes out, then we know there's an issue with the developers and not necessarily, you know, a software or whatnot. So I imagine by the time I buy the PS5, which will probably be, I don't know, maybe March and maybe February.
You think you'd be able to even get it by then? You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, also, but at the current moment, I'm not as hyped to get the PS5 because there's not a game I want to buy as of yet. So
because they don't have any real games out for PS5. But anyway,
right, and that's what I was saying from the what I can't remember what it's called, from the launch party or whatever of the PS5 and telling what games are coming out. The one I was really interested in was God of War 5, and that's it. So
and that might not
until
be
that comes out, there's really no point.
Yeah, that might be 2022 at this point. You know, don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. There's still so much to put up in the air. I mean, there's so much that's still up in the air where there's still discussion to be made. Like, we can still talk about these things. There's nothing really set in stone, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say too, though, is this also, like, to me, opens up that discussion I remember we had before they like both Xbox and PlayStation said they want to have cross-gen games for like the next 3 years. And
they're not doing a good job right now.
Well, they're not the ones like their first party games
horrible right now.
Phenomenal.
The
like Ghost of Tsushima, that ran phenomenally on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
but
that was on the base
came out
PlayStation.
directly for PlayStation though. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
and PS5 just upgraded it. PS5 just upgraded the graphics just off of just sheer performance.
Speed.
But that's the thing, so so far it's been the third party games that have been the issue, and that's going to be the hard thing is what the third party games are they going to be able to stay cross generation for 3 years or something like that.
Okay.
It's still the beginning of the new generation. I understand like a lot of consumers want that perfection. When you push it out, you expect it to be complete. And I get that. I really do get that, but it's a human fault though. Like I kind of take it as, okay, you fucked up. Now do better. Redeem me. Like redeem yourself.
That'd have been me. I just said like this, man, Rona. I'm sorry. That's what happened. That's all I would have said. That's all I would have said. Like, nah, y'all give me the benefit of the doubt. Rona. I'm gonna just yell Rona out.
That's escape. No, but
hey, that would be the perfect one.
I mean, it's not a bad scapegoat. Don't get me wrong.
That'd have been the perfect one. We're not in the office together. We don't know.
Yep, exactly. I thought other developers have already said that. They didn't push back. They didn't do movies, everything. They have people already used it.
I'm like, that's why I'm like, see, that's why we weren't even able to get the game to the reviewers because the Rona was in the way. And we get the review copies read.
Stop me. See, we were ready to give it to it too, but sickness. No,
that's
but
sickness. Sickness.
What killed this game was the promotion and the hype. Keanu Reeves, and some Keanu Reeves again. So you have a lot of this back. You have a lot of this backup. You have a lot of these people pushing for it, and then you have Mark Posmith, the creator, the original creator.
But I was gonna say, random side note, that's why the motorcycles are so good because of Keanu Reeves.
Well, and that could be because
how?
Yeah, because he has his own motorcycle.
His own motorcycle company, and that motorcycle company helped with some of the stuff for the motorcycles.
Yeah. So there's a lot of this.
I don't understand the correlation there. So it's not.
It's motorcycle? Like I don't think they had a car person there. Like, hey, that torque is not hitting right. That motorcycle person was like, nah, you gotta hit that torque a little bit more, get the G's moving.
No, not to stay on this too much, but if you watch on the Night City episodes on YouTube, they showed the process of getting the cars right, especially the motorcycles as well. They did highlights of showing how they do with the mics, the technicalities of it, riding in them.
They do
all that shit.
They sound great. That's one thing.
Yeah, it does sound really good.
It
does sound really good. I will give the sound team like a shout out if I knew who was the head sound designer for that. But
the sound tech.
That guy. Yeah,
the one sounds. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was white. But anyways, no. Go ahead.
I have one more thing. The one thing I was gonna say too though is another game that came out like this, but sadly didn't get the redemption, is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, the last one? Oh.
Yeah. Well, that game, they fixed it and it's phenomenal at this point. Well, not phenomenal.
Is it really?
It's way better at this point.
Is it really?
Like if you bought it now,
I held off because I'm such a big Mass Effect fan. That's like my favorite series besides God of War.
I'm telling you, if you I think it's like usually like $15 now. Oh, really? Like you're getting a better product than the people who paid $60 for it.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get that then. I got.
There's the potential, and I hate using that word for a game that's already out here. I don't like using that word. Anyway, go ahead.
But I'll say too, by the time this video even posts, they're gonna have another patch out because the patch coming this Friday.
Yeah, there's within these 7 days, and then another big one in February. This game already is 110 gigabytes for me right now, bro. Like after this next patch and the big one in February, this shit's gonna be almost 150 gigabytes or something. It's crazy. This is the biggest game I've had in my plethora of other games.
Really?
Yes. I've never seen any. I haven't gotten any game that's past 100 gigs. Never. Final Fantasy was close to 86 gigs, I think.
Final Fantasy was a lot. Final Fantasy was a lot of gigs. This took a lot of my energy. This took a lot of my space.
Yeah. But all right, we definitely got into it a lot longer than I expected, but we did some good discussions.
That's what she said.
Fellas, man, thanks for coming once again. I always gotta give the
I know I showed up. I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk cash shit later. You good?
Yep.
We joke. I'm joking. I don't know about the other two guys, but thank you once again, fellas, man. Thank you once again for the one, James. Even if you came in late, doesn't matter. You showed up. That's point
for the one time.
That's point blank period for me. King, Thomas, thank you. Always appreciate y'all for coming out, and for the subscribers, for the fans, the ones that keep coming back. We really do appreciate the ones that have been commenting. I told you I'm getting better at it, and I've been commenting back. And we appreciate those comments. We appreciate the views. We appreciate the subscriptions. But please click like and subscribe for that bell. And don't forget that bell on the side for all Media Marauders content. Everything we do, we marauder every day. So drop in Twitter or Facebook. Any of our own shit, like we're still gonna put that out eventually. But yeah, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you think about Cyberpunk. Let us know what you think about just everything we've been really going into, Supernatural, all that. Like, we appreciate it. So we'll see you on the next one. We're gonna take once again, we're gonna take a quick hiatus for the Christmas break so we could get with family and all that. We'll be back first week of January for the ones that want to come back and see our gorgeous faces.
And then don't forget, when we come back, we're gonna have our wonderful production guy, Mr. Random over there. We're gonna give him all of our favorite 2020 content that we liked.
Yeah.
So we'll have a 2 week notice to get that situated for January 6th, 2021. Our 2020 choices.
Yeah, good looking, because I totally did forget about that. But
I did too. That's why I was like, Mr. Rand's gonna kill us if we don't get it out the way.
I gave up.
That motherfucker's like, I thought we weren't doing it no more. But
We're gonna do it.
And that's gonna be, you're gonna see that on Instagram. So please pay attention to our Instagram, our Twitter, all that. So once again, thanks, man. We'll see you on the next one, and have a happy Christmas, happy New Year's, all that. Please be safe. That's all we wish for. Please be safe. We'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.
Wear your masks.
He forgot Quan.